Adam, man, top 25 came out in the AP poll today for the preseason rankings. Got Tennessee at 24th. Man, what do you think about that? I feel like that's kind of low, dude. I don't know, personally.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of bias in there, but
If your hat, shirt, and my shirt don't give it away, I mean, yeah, we are gonna have
yeah.
some bias. We're gonna have some bias, obviously. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's rightfully so, dude. I mean, I get it. I mean, there's a lot of unanswered questions that aren't gonna come to light until we actually play a game. But dude, just looking at this list, man, I mean, just off first glance, without even counting them and us talking about it, I see at least five teams that I'm not going to say shouldn't be on the list. Maybe they shouldn't, but there's at least five teams just breezing over it real quick that I think have no business being above Tennessee. At least that. I mean,
Yeah, right.
being 24th, I'm grateful we're on it. There's been so many years where we haven't even been on it, but
Yeah.
24 is too low, man. I think 24 is a little bit too low for sure.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the thing is, like, and I know we've lost some people that, and the Tennessee haters are going to be like, even like last year would have said we're not good, but we made the playoffs last year. So,
Hmm.
this is a team that, yeah, we did lose Dylan Sampson, and for me, that's the biggest loss on the offensive side, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I realize that like with Nico being out, but I just don't see Nico leaving being that big of a drop from a team that made the playoffs last year, who
No.
would have, let's face it, had Nico been there and everything, they probably would have showed him a little bit or showed him a little more love there,
Yeah.
put him around, 12, something like that. But I think, and being realistic, I realize they lost some people, so I would be fine if Tennessee was maybe like 15.
Yeah.
It's kind of where I see them at right now, and because
Yeah.
it's a little bit of uncertainty, but also like we still got people who came back. We still have a good team. We still got a good coach. Um, you got teams like Texas Tech is like right in front of Tennessee right now. I mean, and it's just and maybe we'll eat those words about later in the season, but as of right now, this is preseason rankings. It just doesn't make sense to me to have them that far down. I am grateful that we're ranked,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter, man, right now. So
Yeah.
that's the way I look
Yeah.
at it. Just use that for fuel. I mean, just fuel the fire there with that. Just be like, hey, look, nobody's really believing in us this year. Um,
Right.
you could use that as motivation. If you're a player.
Yeah, without a doubt, dude. And kind of diving a little bit into it here. I mean, like you said, Texas Tech, they're number 23. Iowa State, 22. I get it. Indiana had a good year last year, but I mean, even them being above Tennessee is kind of iffy. Kansas State at 17. I
Yeah.
mean, SMU, another team kind of like Indiana that had a good season last year, but does their good season really warrant them being over Tennessee? I don't know. They're at number 16. Uh, you know, I don't know. Illinois at 12 is kind of crazy too, if you really want to know my opinion on it. But those off the top, those are just looking at the list over here. Those are teams
Yeah.
that I say without question shouldn't be above Tennessee. And even though we are Tennessee fans, looking at number 21 spot there, Ole Miss, dude. I mean, even they might be a little low, to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
I guess they got to show some love to some other conferences or something. Just can't
Yeah,
just dump the SEC right in there. But
I
I
get
mean,
it.
at the end of the day, we know some of these teams aren't going to stay where they're at,
Yeah.
and aren't going to go up against like some of these bigger conference teams like in the SEC and some other
Hmm.
Big Ten, all of them conferences. So because
Yep.
really, if you're making a top 24, in my opinion, you've got like a couple outside of those two conferences that probably are going to actually be. I mean, you've
Yep.
got maybe more than a couple, but you know what I mean. Those are the two main conferences. But at the same time, I guess you got to kind of mix it up in there a little bit for everybody. I just as I'd like to see Tennessee, broke that under 20. Like I said, I personally have them about 15.
Yep.
Yeah, 17 or 18 even, had they ranked them. But
That's kind of where I was at on it. Anywhere between 15 and 18, somewhere in that range. Just because I see Illinois that you could bump down and slide everyone else up. Kansas State, SMU, you could bump them down and slide Oklahoma, Texas A&M up if you wanted to, but slide Tennessee
yeah,
over there in that kind of like that mid tier of the top 25. I guess I don't think we belong in the bottom tier of the top 25. I mean, everyone in the comments are if they hate UT, which most people do that aren't fans,
Yeah,
they're probably going to roast us and be like, of course y'all look at y'all with y'all's Tennessee colors on. Of course you're thinking they should
yeah,
be in that, but we're not sitting here screaming that they deserve to be in the top five. And kind of speaking of the top five, Clemson in the top five kind of blows my mind a little bit. I don't know how I feel about that one. Texas, obviously, at number one. That's no surprise at all.
yeah,
I figured they would have had Ohio State at number two, being the national, defending
yeah,
national champs. But yeah, it's a cool list. But like you said a second ago, dude, it's kind of like a way too early preseason poll, right? I mean,
yeah.
this thing after the first week, that top 10 could be completely obliterated. Who knows?
And on their point, we got a chance to prove it. We got to go out and win games early on and go out and do what they're supposed to do. So, you know, we may come back at this and later in a few weeks in and be like, well, I guess they were right. So I mean, we'll just have to see. But you just gotta. Again, this is preseason, so
Yep,
we all have. It's kind of opinion based, really, at that point. I mean,
it
there's a lot
is.
of analytics and stuff like that that goes into it. On that level, by the professionals. So I know that there's probably some things that they take into consideration that maybe not the average fan or us that we're not even gonna catch. And I mean, we just claim to be average fans, so I'm not like
Right.
an expert or anything, but I feel like there's probably a lot of Tennessee fans that feel like that's a little low. So
Yeah.
um,
I think it's fair to say that there's people that aren't Tennessee fans that think that's kind of low. I mean, to be honest with
I
you.
would say so.
But you got the likes of South Carolina at 13, Florida at 15. I mean, those two teams right there had some pretty monumental moments last season where they kind of surged up as like, look at us. Even Florida, starting off the season terrible and then picked up
Yep.
steam at the end of the season. I feel like that's probably a reason why they are where they are. Same with South Carolina. They had moments of greatness last season.
Oh
So,
yeah.
and it seems like the media and really everyone in the SEC is crazy about those two programs as quarterbacks. So,
Yep.
yeah, we'll see, man. I think it's definitely. I mean, you got to start somewhere, right? And with each win, hopefully Tennessee can climb that ladder. Like we always have to do. It
Yep.
seems like.
Yeah, man. Hopefully so, and we'll have chances pretty quick and early on. I mean, it's not that we got the toughest schedule in the nation or anything, but there's some tough games. We're gonna have some big games, and it we'll have time to prove that. So
Oh yeah, without a doubt, man. Without a doubt. It's going to be interesting to see how Carson Beck does at Miami. I know that's random, but I just looked over there and saw them sitting there at number 10.
yeah, yeah, it's gonna be better for him or it's gonna be worse. I don't know. We'll see.
It's odd though. I don't see Vanderbilt on here. Oh,
Uh,
I guess they're not on it.
it is interesting. They're supposed to win the Natty, so got to really climb the ladder, I guess.
Heck yeah. Well, man, I guess that's it for our preseason AP top 25 poll. Make sure you all subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more episodes.